throughout the coming weeks. So this morning we are progressing towards our Bastrika Kriya again. So remember, Kriya is a word that simply means some kind of cleansing practice. Bastrika Kriya is very stimulating, and it really mobilizes the energy in the lungs. It's very prana vayu in terms of the functionality and directionality of prana. And so today we'll be taking our Bastrika and then adding our breath ratio onto it. I'll explain when we get there, but just to let you know what to anticipate, I suppose. Let's begin with a few little contemporary and traditional kriyas and resets to help us arrive. So this morning we're actually going to start off, please, just in your seat, and I'm going to ask you to take your arms out in front of you. Yeah. And just establish your eye gaze on your fingers, just on your fingernails. Keep your shoulders relaxed and keep your breath moving. And now we're wanting to keep the head very still and really slowly take your right hand out to the side, and with your eyes follow the right fingernail, the tip of the index finger, as you take that right arm out to the side, nice and slow, and then bring it back, keeping your eye gaze just gently focused on the tip of that right index finger. And then we'll do the same on the left. So slowly taking the left hand out to the side, keep your head still, just let your eyes follow the finger, good. And then we'll bring that back in. Good, we're taking another lap out to the right, please. Keeping the head still, eyes on that right index finger. When you can't see it in your peripheral vision, you can bring it back nice and slowly. Good, and then taking the left arm out again. Excellent. Good, we're going to take just one more, please, to each side. Nice and slow, keep your shoulders relaxed, just following the tip of that right finger as you take it out to the side, and then slowly bring it back. And then the left. All right, beautiful. Amazing. Letting go of that now, please. And when you're ready, we're going to come into our vagus nerve and lymphatic massage. So just using the tips of your fingers or your fingerprints, I suppose it depends on how long your fingernails are, and just start at the underside of your ears near the corner of the jaw, and just gently, or as firmly as you like, just stimulating all of that tissue that runs along the underside of the jawbone, from underneath the ear all the way to the tip of the chin, and then back again. You might like to pause and give your ears a little bit of a tug and open and close the mouth a few times. So this is serving two purposes. Number one, it's a beautiful vagal maneuver, but it is also a potent lymphatic maneuver. And this time of year, we are very, very interested in getting the lymph really mobilized and moving well. Beautiful. I can see some of you even working your knuckles in there, which is great. Beautiful. And that's something you can do any time of the day. It's especially good to do it first thing in the morning after you've been sleeping and still. Lovely. Letting that go now, please. Moving into our next one, we're going to stimulate our ocular cardiac reflex. So please just start rubbing the palms of your hands together quite vigorously. So again, this is a 2-for-1. This coordinated bilateral movement of the hands. is a vagal stimulator, but we're also warming the palms of the hands, creating a little bit of interoceptive awareness. Now, when you feel like your palms are lovely and warm, please gently press your palms over your closed eyes. If you wear glasses, you'll need to take them off, obviously, for this bit, and just apply a gentle amount of pressure, a little bit of a push. Lovely. And now just allow your eyes to gently blink open into that space behind the palms as you allow your arms to come to rest in your lap, and give the shoulders a little bit of a shrug. Good. Coming to arrive in your best upright seat now. So welcome to sit in a chair if that works better for your body. Otherwise, ensuring that your legs, your pelvis are well propped and steady so that you are able to sit comfortably for a reasonably long period of time. We'll come to invite ourselves to settle with a few rounds of our reset breath. Please exhale completely. Take a big, boisterous inhale through the nose. Hold on to that. Top it up with a second inhale. And out through the mouth slowly. Good. Again, big nasal inhale. Second top up inhale. And out slowly through the mouth. Good. Again, big inhale through the nose. Second top up nasal inhale. And exhale through the mouth. Please take 2 more, just like that on your own. Be really present with the sensations that accompany this pattern of breath. When you are finished, when you're ready to settle, please bring your tongue to rest flat against the roof of your mouth. Let your jaw relax. And as you come to meet your breath, allowing your eye gaze to very gently and steadily settle toward the bridge of the nose. Moving the breath slowly and smoothly through the channels of the nostrils. With full attention, with full intention. Sensing the movement of the air in the nostrils and softening a little bit more through the face and the shoulders. Allowing some attention to descend into the rib cage and the belly, and encouraging a very free and full movement in the ribs and the belly. Please invite yourself to slow down and smooth out the breath. And allow yourself to become curious now as to the sensations that accompany either side of the breath. the feeling of the inhale and the feeling of the exhale. And now that we are settled, please begin to very softly and sweetly hug your windpipe toward the back of the throat. Channelizing the movement of the breath and bringing attention to the pit of the throat. Noticing the sound and the sensation that the breath takes on. And attempting to create a sound and a feeling in the breath that is very smooth and subtle, very velvety, and very well distributed across the length of each inhale and each exhale. Try not to rush the first part of the inhale or the first part of the exhale. Practice using that gentle hug of the windpipe to give you control over the speed of the breath. Allow yourself to slowly sip and savor the inhale. Drawing it in through the nose, dragging it slowly across the roof of the palate toward the pit of the throat. Keeping the exhalation similarly slow and smooth. Offering the exhalation back into the atmosphere with awareness. Please begin to take note of how long your inhalations are this morning. Counting a few consecutive cycles of breath. And once you have ascertained where the inhalation has landed, please bring your exhalation up to meet it. Allow your mental energy to become very settled and directed focus your mind on the count. The tongue rests flat against the roof of the mouth. The eye gaze gently directed down toward the nose. Stay with this. No tension or strain. If your mind wanders, invite yourself back. Every distraction is an opportunity to practice this skill, bringing yourself back to the breath. And when you are ready, please begin to extend your inhalation out to twice its current length. The challenge is always on the longer side of the breath. Remember your Ujjayi technique, using that valve-like mechanism, the hug of the throat, to slow the inhale down. Sipping and savoring the inhale, slowly drawing it down deep into the lungs. And remaining curious as to the different qualities of the inhale and the exhale. The rising, swelling ascendancy of the inhale and the gentle grounding, emptying of the exhalation. And at the end of your next exhale, let go of that pattern, but retain the knowledge of the count. Just allowing your breath to return to its natural, quiet state now. taking a moment to sit, to observe, and to inhabit the space that you have created. Very gently bringing your awareness now back to the screen, back to me. All right. So a couple of little technical details before we start progressing with our cornerstone practice for the month of September. Every day that you practice, just like anything else, it's a different day. And so some sessions are easier or feel more settled than others. And so, as I said before, every time you find yourself distracted for whatever reason, just invite yourself to come back. And every time you do this, every time you practice, just calling yourself back, you are quite literally creating the neuroplasticity, the synapses, or in yoga, we call them the samskaras. You're creating those positive neurological patterns that help you to rebound well from times of stress or distraction. So I suppose I'm just mentioning that to encourage you not to get frustrated if you're having a practice where the cat keeps coming into the room, or, you know, for whatever reason there's distraction. Just allow it to be as it is. What are you going to do? And use that as an opportunity to bring yourself back. Okay, so back into the Bhastrika. Now, last week I explained that this is an active inhale and a very passive exhale. It's really important to understand that, so that you don't take yourself into that hyperventilated state. And also that it's very high up, it's very thoracic and almost underneath the collarbones, which is a really useful pattern, especially this time of year, because you're stimulating that primary lymphatic gate and really hyperoxygenating the lungs. Now, in the advanced practice and in general, one of the benefits of the Bhastrika pattern is that it really oxygenates the lungs and oxygenates the blood, so that when you finish the Bhastrika practice, there is a window, there is an opportunity for you to explore something called Kevala kumbhaka. So you may have heard of the other two kumbhakas, but Kevala kumbhaka is a spontaneous suspension of the breath. And when we are really oxygenated in the bloodstream, we have an opportunity to just sit in that beautiful, peaceful, vacuous space where we don't feel the urge to breathe, because it takes longer for the chemoreceptors in our brainstem to start signaling the diaphragm to move. And this will be different for everyone. So I suppose I'm talking about this up front, so that when we get to the end of our little experience with this week, that you can just allow yourself to sit and be in that space and enjoy it. Don't think about it too much, just be in that space. Now, before we go into it, let's take a couple of practices, please. So I'll invite you just to take your hands onto your chest near your collarbones. You don't have to practice it like this, but just so that as we warm up, you're feeling that the movement is nice and high up. And we inhale sharply and deliberately through the nose, and it's a very passive little puff of an exhale through the mouth. Yeah, so in through the nose and out through the mouth. Here we go. Good. And we want it to be nice and rhythmic. Yeah, so try and keep up with my count. Just as we did last week, we're going to take 15 beats of the Bhastrika. The 15th and final exhale is longer and more deliberate because we're going to then tack on our long inhale and our half length exhale. So just remember where your breath count landed. And this pattern is going to shift again next week. We're going to add something else on here. But for now, let's settle into this. So getting any last little wiggles and jiggles out of the way and let yourself come to settle. It's always a lovely idea to gently smile and soften the face and signal your nervous system that you are happy to be where you are. Good. Let's go. Bastrika. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Long exhale, 15. Take your long ujjayi inhale. Your long ujjayi exhale. Bastrika. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Long exhale, 15. Take your long ujjayi inhale. Your half length ujjayi exhale. Bastrika. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Long exhale, 15. Take your long, smooth ujjayi inhale. Your half length ujjayi exhale. Bastrika. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Long exhale, 15. Take your long ujjayi inhale. Your half length ujjayi exhale. Bastrika. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Long exhale, 15. Take your long ujjayi inhale. Your half length ujjayi exhale. Bastrika. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Long exhale, 15. Take your long ujjayi inhale. Your half length ujjayi exhale. And now nothing. Just wait and watch. When the natural urge to breathe arises, allow it. Allow the breath to remain calm and quiet. And now, please make your way onto your belly and onto the floor. It is important to settle and create steadiness after the mobilizing and stimulating combination we've just done. So arriving in Makrasana now on your belly, just resting your forehead on top of your stacked hands and adjusting the position of your arms to suit the architecture of your neck and your skull. If lying on your belly is not an option for you, then you can do this lying on your back. If you are on your belly, please bring your big toes to touch and let your heels fall away from one another. For most people, this position of the legs proffers the most amount of space in the pelvis and the sacrum. And now come back into a slow, smooth, simple breath. The tongue against the roof of the mouth. You might like to re-engage your Ujjayi technique here. I find that this position gives me a beautiful experience of the Ujjayi as the sound echoes and resonates in that cave-like space where my face is resting. And in order to help us settle and stabilize our energy, we'll move into our Samavritti 2 pattern. Inhaling for 4 counts, pausing at the top of the inhale for 4 counts, exhaling for 4 counts, and then pausing at the bottom of the exhale for 4 counts. Allow your mind to become settled and anchored in the count. And pay attention to the movement of the belly and the ribs. The feeling of each of the 4 sides of the breath. The rising, swelling ascendancy of the inhalation, that space of contained expansion at the top of the inhale, the drop down and descent of the exhalation, and that peaceful, vacuous space at the end of the exhale. If you feel as though you have space, you might like to stretch your count out by 1 or 2, but don't force it. Stay with this. Softening any tension in the shoulders. Remaining very present and attentive to each of the four sides of the breath. At the end of your next exhale, letting go of that Samavriti 2 pattern and carefully rolling yourself onto your back, arriving in your Shavasana. Of course, please feel free to prop your body however you like. This morning, as we rest in our Shavasana, a reminder that this is the most important part of the practice. This is where we digest and assimilate that beautiful prana that we have been cultivating. This morning and this week, the invitation as you rest in your Shavasana is to work with your sense of hearing, to connect with the element of space. As you listen to the small, subtle sounds that emanate from inside your body, as you listen to the sounds of the room around you, and welcoming and witnessing any sounds from within the house or any distant sounds of traffic, birds, or weather. Your only job for the next few minutes is to simply witness and listen without reaction or opinion, and wait for the sound of my voice to summon you back. And please allow your breath to deepen slightly now. Inviting some very gentle, careful movements into your fingers and toes, into your wrists and ankles. And maybe swallowing to lubricate the throat. It might feel pleasant to take a lovely yawn and a stretch here. Taking whatever other movements feel natural and nourishing for you before carefully and slowly curling your way to an upright seat. As you come to arrive in your seat, remain for just a few more moments with your eyes closed and your attention directed inwards. Noticing how you have arrived here at the end of your practice and at the start of your day. Taking a moment to remind yourself that the breath is always there. And at any stage during the coming day, if you feel tense, distracted, if you have had to, for very good reason, lean into your sympathetic nervous system, just remind yourself that you can always rebound, recover by coming back into the breath. We finish our session, as always, with gratitude and acknowledgement as we offer our thanks for the gift of this day, our lives and our health, and as we offer one another our respects and acknowledgements, as well as extending those respects and acknowledgements to the custodians of this living tradition. As always, my beautiful friends, huge respect and gratitude. Have a wonderful day. Now, there is a question. Ching, ching. You've got your hand raised. Maybe that was a mistake. No? Okay, sorry, it was the cat. All right, never mind. Hey, beautifuls, thank you so, so much. Lots of love. If you've ever got any questions, please reach out to me. I love to talk shop, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.